Hey, how's it going? Another video. I've kind of done this before in other videos, but I figure I'd do a video strictly for this. A little tutorial on how to use old vintage film lenses on your Pentax DSLR. Today I'm using a Pentax K70. I've sold a couple of vintage lenses lately, and I guess they were new owners of Pentax and they couldn't figure out how to get the lenses, the old vintage lenses, to work on their camera. So if you buy a manual lens and you try to take a picture, you notice the shutter doesn't fire. So there's just a setting that you have to go in here and set up. On by default it's on off, but up here under, if you hit menu and you go under this custom C tab on the Pentax K70, it's here on number 4 using aperture ring. So if you select that, and you'll say shutter will not release when the aperture ring is not set to the A position. Well, this is like a Pentax -M, so it doesn't have an A on the aperture ring on the lens. So you'll have to select enable. So this will allow the shutter to fire. Alright, so there we go with that. Now when you're using one of these -M's ones, you want to be up here on the mode dial and full manual. If you have the one that has a -A and you put it in a -A, you could do like aperture priority if you would like. That's why I kind of like the ones that have the -A as well. So let me go over some ways to focus now, because this is full manual. By default, in Pentax cameras, you'll get that confirmation beep. So if you halfway hold down the shutter and when you're focusing, it will beep to let you know that the camera thinks it's in focus. That's what I use like pretty much 95% of the time, and it's really close. Sometimes it's not super accurate. If you have a lens that, say, it's got an aperture of f1.4, so very shallow depth of field, I found this next method a little bit easier of getting focus. So if you select into live view and you hit just your OK button, it's usually set up by default. It allows you to adjust and focus in and just adjust it and get it fine-tuned. And you could use this right here to get even closer. I'm trying to get that in right there, and then when you hold down the shutter, that goes away, and boom. So that's that method. Now, those are the two methods I use. I'm going to go over a couple of methods that other people use that you might find useful. I'd recommend you trying it out. But first off, let me go with, if your camera isn't making that confirmation beep, let me show you where it is in here. This Pentax K70, as I was saying, under the little wrench icon over here. Somebody might have, if you bought a used camera, they might have taken this off. Maybe they're doing weddings or something and didn't want the beep sound. Under sound effects, right there in focus, that's where you would turn that on and off. But by default, it is on your camera. So two more methods here of focusing that you might want to try out. This is K70. It does have focus speaking. So under menu here, if you go down the first icon here, autofocus in live shooting, and then focus peaking. That's right there. That's where you could turn it on. So we'll kind of highlight, I'm not going to turn it on, but it kind of highlights when you're in or out of focus. It's a feature I don't necessarily like. And you can't use it through the viewfinder, but you can use it in live mode. Now the last one I'm going to show you, a lot of people like to use, is kind of similar to the beep confirmation, but some people like to use this. This is catch and focus. Oops, you go up here. And what this basically does is you have to put, even though this is a manual lens, you have to select it to autofocus for this particular camera, autofocus, and it also has to be, your focus has to be, where is it? Has to be in the AFS for it to work. So what it does is you can't use it in live mode, but you hold down the shutter button all the way down, and you just turn until the camera catches focus, and you see it right there. So it will take the picture automatically when it thinks it's in focus. So that's the last method. Yeah, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe if you hadn't. Thank you.